Hello everybody, Dokkan Assets here. Today we are back with a different kind of Dokkan battle video. I don't think I've done a video like this before, but I nonetheless wanted to do this video because ever since I saw the beginning of this project, I could not wait to see it start to come to fruition, and we have come to the date of the first official release trailer of Dokkan Scythe. Now, there are a couple of Dokkan fan projects brewing in the community that I will be taking a look at this channel because there's just so much cool stuff that comes out of this community. And I know that people make fan cards and stuff like that all the time, but this is like next level, bro. I literally made a tweet about this saying this is going to revolutionize custom Dokkan. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a look at the trailer. Of course, I'm going to leave a link to it in the description below. Please, please, please go drop a like on this video. Go sub to the Dokkan Scythe channel, which I believe is just Hody's channel. Yes, because he is the lead developer on the project. Go show the video some love. I'm not going to play the audio in the video as well, just because then you have more incentive to go watch the video. And also, I don't know if there's any copyrighted music used. So before we say anything about it, let's just go ahead and watch this trailer, bro. Because it's pretty well put together, I will say. Of course, the theme being Dokkan Scythe makes sense that the theming is Rose, right? So there is a lot, and I mean a lot of cool stuff to go through in this video. Again, like I said, we'll let it go through once, and I'm just gonna kind of, oh man. I've already seen this trailer like 3 times today, and I'm still excited looking at this because not only is there just so much to unpack here, obviously there's just so much cool stuff that even with projects like this in the past, there wasn't anything close to this level of customization in the past. And a lot of these tools that if you were going to sort of try and make them yourself without this program, right, would be extremely difficult to do, and Dokkan Scythe kind of streamlines that process for you. That's a funny reference. I never noticed that in the first couple viewings of this. That's pretty goofy, of course. Dokkan Scythe, gotta be Rose, you know, makes sense. Very, very cool. I love the screenshot at the end here. This is probably going to be the thumbnail here. So very, very nice. Obviously, like it says, coming this autumn. I'm sure that they will be releasing multiple things about this as time goes on. Now, I want to kind of dissect this trailer a little bit. And besides that, there are some other things that I actually do have for you in terms of information. I did hit up the boy HodySensei. I have known him for a little while now. We kind of like, we don't talk too often, but we're, you know, like we boys, you know what I'm saying? So, and a long while ago as well, one other thing that was really exciting about this project is that I actually got to hop into a VC with the boy, and see the beginning stages of this project. So to see it from all the way back then come to what it is now is so cool, I gotta say, from seeing it in the back end. So first of all, this is really cool. Obviously, we have a thing where you can name your account and create a customizable profile, which is really cool. Obviously, we have Amar as the standard name here. And it does kind of look like as well, before we actually like get into this section of it here, it kind of does look like that you can actually make multiple accounts, which is really, really cool if I do say so myself. That's something that I never really like thought that I wanted on Dokkan, but I mean, I guess it's the same concept as just having a global and a JP account, so I guess that makes sense. Pretty cool stuff there. Obviously, moving on to this section here, it looks to be that you can customize all kinds of different things here. Obviously, these are all different values that you can change yourself. You can change your game ID. You can change your name, right? You can change the amount of XP that you currently have. You can change your rank, stamina, how many stones, Zenny, Baba points, friend points. You have all that stuff. You can see the little apply changes button at the bottom of the screen there. Really, really cool. Obviously, this is pure customization. And this is what I mean when I say custom Dokkan, right? Like, this this is truly revolutionizing custom Dokkan. Now, I'm sure you already have a lot of questions about what we're looking at here. And again, I will address, because I had a lot of questions, and I think a lot of the questions that I had were also some things that you will probably have looking at this trailer. Now, this is one thing that is really cool and pretty interesting, if I do say so myself. First of all, Hody, I hope you don't keep that as an actual account, because somebody's going to be logging in and stealing that boy real quick. But, as you can see, there is a proper game login with a username and password that actually logs you into the game, seemingly after you pick your account, which is pretty cool. And I know this is one question that is probably going to be asked right off the bat, and I guess since we're already like on this section of the video, I might as well talk about it. One question that I had was that because of how this works, right, and how this looks to work, is this going to connect to Bandai's server? Because I know a lot of people were saying like, oh, well, you know, how is this going to work with safety net, yada, yada, yada. And I will get to the general summary of the project that Hody gave me as the CEO of Dokkan SCYTHE. But basically, right, he explained to me that this actually has nothing to do with Dokkan itself, right? You just install the Dokkan SCYTHE APK, and then you're good to go. There's no Dokkan account needed whatsoever, which is awesome. The only time you ever need to collect a server, I mean, I guess collecting information, kinda, because, you know, you have to collect your username and password, but the only time you ever have to connect, rather, to the internet is actually the page that we just saw there where he logged in, because obviously, you know, you have to get your user verification. It sends it to his server side where he's obviously hosting Dokkan SCYTHE on, just to make sure that obviously, you know, the login information is correct and there's no, you know, fraud subscriptions or anything like that, right? Obviously, that makes sense, and that's just good security, right? And there's no communication between the game and Dokkan's server, only his server that's checking, and then the rest is handled locally on your device, which is really, really cool. And even if there is an APK update for Dokkan or any data downloads, you don't have to worry about that either, because there is actually a tab in Dokkan SCYTHE that basically allows you to just get all of that stuff, which is really, really cool. So you don't even have to worry about like ever connecting to Dokkan, which is awesome, because that's obviously like a big problem as to what a lot of this type of thing has to do with right now. But obviously, because you don't need to ever connect to Dokkan's server, then of course, good stuff. I remember when he told me that, I literally sent the Drake clapping gif. Anyway, we'll save that surprise for later, don't you worry. So obviously, game login, that is pretty cool. We, of course, are met with this Gogeta screen here. Of course, you can see the boy is a rainbow. So, of course, this being a private server, right, as one of the features here, you can obviously, you know, connect with the specific information. And then what's really cool about this is that you can create your own custom banners, events, and cards, which is crazy to me. So if we take a look back at this page, right, you can see that there is a list for everything here. You can edit these events, edit the cards, right? You can see down there, you can edit the gacha. So you get to choose all of the elements for this, right? Like what units are on the banner, what the banner looks like, what happens in the event, what bosses you face in the event, what the card art looks like, what the details for the card look like, the EZA info, so on and so forth for all this stuff, which is really cool. And obviously him clicking on new card here shows you all of the information that you can edit, which is awesome. Character ID, you know, different character values, obviously the card art you can also add in there. So cool. So you can literally do anything that you want. And then what's nice as well is that, as you can see here, all of the cards that are already in the game are already loaded into Dokkan SCYTHE, which is absolutely incredible. Frankly, I think that is just so cool that, like, besides you being able to do your own custom thing, if you just want to throw in your own, or like a regular Dokkan card rather, not your own Dokkan card, because obviously that's amazing that you can do that too. You have that option already right here, and you can choose, right, like he says, art, type, links, categories, so on and so forth. So what's really cool too, another thing I didn't even think of until watching this, is that if you want to just like change up a specific unit and you want to see what they would be like if they had certain links or if they were a certain type or on a certain category, you can do that, which is really, really cool. Because I know there are some characters that people would like to have certain links. So testing them if they had it would be really cool. Obviously here we have customizable events, which is awesome. Really, really like the fact that not only is there a lot of stuff that you can already pick from, obviously we have all of the different events in the game that you can use as a base, or you can just kind of add them in there. What's really cool is that there are features to edit the custom events in here, right? Like I remember this program right here where you use to make your own events was kind of a mess to navigate through for the normal end user. I can tell you that myself because I tried to look into doing it one time and I was like, no. So really cool that Dokkan Scythe makes this a super easy process for the end user, which I know was the point of a lot of the things that they did with this project as well. As you can see here, we have a bunch of Goku Blacks, and they are going to be the boss for this custom event. Now, there is one little teaser that I did want to give to this, which is really cool. As you can see, the specific event that's in here right now is Hody's Tower of Mayhem. Of course, I mentioned before that Mr. Hody is the actual, head lead behind the project. And I actually have a little bit of a teaser for you on this particular event here, which is really cool. He basically told me that this is apparently going to be a competitive community race. Sorry, that's a tongue twister with the two C's there. Basically, every stage is a floor, and the leaderboard will be based on which floor that you're at, which is, I think, really, really cool. That's something that I never even really thought of, like, implementing into Dokkan, but I really, really like that. I think it is so cool. He is still working out some of the specifics on how the event is going to work in terms of, like, the different logistics behind it, because obviously, since this is a type of event that Dokkan has never really had before, of course, there's some things that you need to tweak a little bit, but that is the basis of how the event is going to work, and I really like the sound of that. So it'll be really cool to see that when it comes to fruition, and I'm sure it will be really cool to see all the homies trying to get to the top of the leaderboards on this event. So that is really, really cool, if I do say so myself, and obviously makes sense that you would be finding a bunch of rosés because, of course, again, Dokkan Scythe with the theming, right? Very, very good stuff here. Looks like he's running a Potara team, if I had to take a shot in the dark. Then we have gifts, which is really cool. Now, funny enough, this is the only thing that I think is, like, very interesting, because it's awesome that this is included, maybe for the meat, but, like, a lot of these things, like I showed in the beginning of the trailer, right, you can just add this in with your own account, right? So, like, you can just add in as many stones as you want. You don't necessarily need to get them from the gift box to, like, summon on your custom banners. But, I mean, I guess for other different items, it's there. And obviously, what I think is awesome is more so even the fact that just in that regard, right, that you can set your own amount of stones and you can still do that. It's like, it's almost unnecessary for it to be there. But I like that more because it means you have more options. Like, you don't just have to do it one way. You can do it however you want and your own way. Literally, like I said, revolutionizing custom Dokkan. I love it. Anyway, like we showed before, your own custom banners. Obviously, here we have the Dokkan Scythe banner. And then, of course, like Hody showed a couple seconds ago in the gift box, you got these little Scythe tickets to get all these rosé units, which is really cool. And again, this is another thing that's sort of like just for fun because, of course, like he showed before, there is a private server element for this, so you don't even really necessarily need to summon. But again, from what I understand with how this works, you don't really need to actually turn on the private server. Let's go back to that here. You can if you want to, right? But you don't necessarily have to. So then that way, I guess the summoning would be better for you. And that is another great thing I think about the whole multiple accounts thing, because then if you wanted to, you could have one that was maybe dedicated to like the private server, so you could try out these units at Rainbow or whatever, and then you could have one to just mess around and make all these custom events or whatever. So I'm going to just leave the trailer looping in the background now at full speed, because there are a couple of other questions that I asked Mr. HodySensei myself. that I wanted to give you guys information on, because there were things that I was curious about, and I think there are things that you will be curious about as well. Because obviously, you know, I like to think that I'm kind of like, all right, let me approach it from this angle. Let me try and get this angle. So for one, let me give you first the basic summary of what the man gave me. As the Mr. CEO, I kind of asked him to give me a little bit of a statement as to what Dokkan Scythe is. He said basically that Scythe is a true private server. You can do everything, like literally everything, from cards, events, banners, EZAs, to custom awakenings, gifts, items, etc. etc. I'm literally tripping over my words because I'm so excited. Basically, Sandbox Dokkan, which I think is a great summary to the whole project. And then, of course, the final thing, if you could create this, imagine the endless possibilities. This is the seemingly mascot of the Dokkan Phoenix team, this guy Omar Jackson. He sings some pretty goofy covers on YouTube. I checked out a couple of the videos that Hody sent me in relation to this man. I already love him. But anyway, so besides that general summary of the project and all the things that I said earlier about the APK, I can tell you that this will be a monthly subscription service project. We don't know, or well, I guess Hody, I mean, I guess because technically he hasn't, you know, he hasn't decided yet, and I don't know yet, right? It is going to be like a monthly subscription service, but I can tell you it is going to be very, very well priced from what I understand. And I'm not saying that like very well priced. It's going to be, oh yeah, you know, $100 a month. Something ridiculous like that. No. I'm talking like really good. So look forward to that as well. Obviously, you know, I wish projects like this could be free, but of course it makes sense that they need funding because, of course, how else are you going to keep the servers up? The servers need electricity. They need, you know, the server like parts, like the hardware to run, of course, you know, obviously money because time is being spent on this when you could be working and making money elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? So that's not anything that Hody told me. I'm just, I guess, explaining how projects work. Anyway, besides that, though, the other really cool thing that he did tell me was, let me find my last question here. Oh my gosh, there was one other thing that I really, really wanted to share in the video here. Hold on, let me find it. Ah, yes. So this actually blew my mind when Hody told me this, because this was one thing that I didn't really think that, like, he even considered, but he did. And it makes me so happy because I feel like this is something that not only is going to make this project so much more fun, but is going to make it a lot more fun for you if you're not one of the people who's going to be going out here and making custom cards and events and stuff like this. Apparently, there's going to be an online vault to publish all of people's original creations that they add into Dokkan Scythe to share with other users. So think of it like the Steam community vault, right? Where on the Steam community tab, right, you can share different community created things like TF2, you can share custom hats, or like, you know, with Rivals of Aether, you can share custom mods, right? I mean, same thing, you can just share mods and all that other kind of stuff, right? If you have Wallpaper Engine, you can share custom wallpapers, right, that you made in Wallpaper Engine. Basically, it's just going to be a sort of hub for all of the fan-created stuff that people can submit it to, and then the end user can download on their end, which again, I think is so awesome, because then not only do you get to try out what other people are making, but again, like I said, if you're not one to, you know, be the creative type and go out here and make it yourself, which I know with these things, right, this could get really in depth in terms of how far you go in terms of your creativity, and you could make some really crazy stuff with this, right? Because again, truly Sandbox Dokkan. So it'll be awesome for those of us who want to play the game. And this is also one of my favorite things about the community, not just the fact that we have a project like this now where, you know, it is a community driven thing, but it goes even more in depth because it shows what the community can do in terms of their creativity and sharing it with the rest of us, which I think is amazing. So with that, please, please, please go check out Dokkan Scythe. Link in the description. I will give you all of the links that you need to click. The first link, though, will be the trailer. Please go support this project. Obviously, this is going to be something amazing. I really, really like this project. I love what it's going for. I like the people who are working behind this project. I will definitely be doing a proper video on this when it officially releases. I will be sliding in immediately to get my hands on this. You could be sure of that. So thank you guys for watching today. Let me know what you think of this project in the comments section below, as well if you'd like me to cover more fan projects like this in the future, because there's definitely some things that I've been seeing in the community that I've had my eye on for a while that I definitely want to take a look at and talk about coming up. So with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Dokkan Assets out. Peace.